Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift have made a massive announcement after their Madison Square Garden wedding, and it changes everything. An on-stage tribute has revealed what's next for the newlywed. In this video, you will see the on-stage tribute that reveals exactly what the couple plans to do next. The date on everyone's calendar had finally arrived. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce got married on July 3, 2026 at Madison Square Garden in New York City, and the marquee outside the arena confirmed it for the entire city to see, lighting up with the message, "Just and Tay married," once the ceremony had concluded. Madison Square Garden lit up Friday night with 3 words nobody could stop talking about: "Just and T married," hours before that sign even turned on. A country music legend was already asking the couple for their firstborn child, joking on camera about wanting the baby before anyone had even walked down the aisle. Guests signed non-disclosure agreements. The White House posted a Photoshop jab at the marquee, and somewhere in the middle of a $26 million giving spree, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift quietly set off a conversation that's still going. Is a baby announcement next? Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift just got married, and the timeline to their first child is already the biggest guessing game in the country. Let's start with what actually happened, because the scale of this thing is almost hard to describe. The wedding of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce took place on July 3, 2026 at Madison Square Garden in New York City. Not a backyard in Nashville, not a private island. The literal home of the New York Knicks and Rangers, rented out and transformed for one night. Swift's publicist Tree Payne confirmed that the 14-time Grammy Award winner and 3-time Super Bowl champion were married in a lavish ceremony in front of 1,000 guests at Madison Square Garden in New York on Friday evening. 1,000 people watching 2 of the most photographed humans on the planet finally make it official. And when it was done, the arena didn't stay quiet about it. The marquee outside the iconic arena read, "Just and T married," once the ceremony had concluded. Fans outside the barricades got to watch the announcement happen in real time, in giant lights, on a Friday night in the middle of Manhattan. Here's the detail that made it feel personal instead of just a spectacle. The world's most famous pop star and the future Hall of Fame football player didn't feature a traditional wedding party, as Swift was accompanied by her man of honor, brother Austin Swift, while Kelce had brother and fellow football great Jason Kelce serving as best man. No lineup of a dozen bridesmaids, just family, standing where family is supposed to stand. The look, if you're wondering, was as high fashion as you'd expect. The bride and groom tied the knot in custom looks created by Christian Dior Haute Couture, designed by Jonathan Anderson, and they also donned custom shoes made by Christian Louboutin, with the bride wearing Cartier for jewelry. And Swift's team made sure the moment carried some fashion history with it. A representative said the designs were created by Jonathan Anderson, creative director of Dior's women's, men's, and haute couture collections, in close collaboration with the bride and groom, marking the designer's first couture wedding dress for a world-renowned celebrity. Who officiated? Not a judge, not a pastor either. The ceremony was officiated by the couple's friend, actor and comedian Adam Sandler. Picture that for a second. Happy Gilmore himself pronouncing Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce husband and wife, in front of 1,000 of the most recognizable faces in sports and entertainment. And those faces showed up in force. The wedding also saw the attendance of Hollywood icons like Emma Stone, Jennifer Lawrence, and Jason Sudeikis, as well as NFL stars like Patrick Mahomes, George Kittle, and Baker Mayfield. Notable figures from the sports world, including USWNT soccer player Alex Morgan and PGA golfer Justin Thomas, were also present at the event. This wasn't just a wedding, it was a full takeover of the sports and pop culture calendar in one building. The NFL contingent arrived in full force, including 3-time Super Bowl MVP Patrick Mahomes and his wife Brittany, Chiefs head coach Andy Reid, former Chiefs teammates Ross Travis and McCole Hardman, New England Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel and his wife Jen, 49ers tight end George Kittle, Buccaneers quarterback Baker Mayfield, and All-Pro wideout Cooper Kupp. Half the league basically showed up to watch their teammate get married. Now here's where the story stops being just about a wedding and starts being about what everyone thinks comes next. Because before the couple had even said their vows, someone had already brought up a baby on camera, publicly, unprompted. That someone was Dolly Parton. 2 days before the ceremony, Swift and Kelce made headlines for a massive act of generosity. Parton thanked the soon-to-be married couple for their donation to her Imagination Library, one of the beneficiaries of the $26 million donation the couple announced before their wedding day. The gift itself was staggering. Charities included the Los Angeles Regional Food Bank, Nashville's The Store, helping harvest in Swift's hometown of Reading, Pennsylvania, Kansas City's Children's Mercy Hospital and Harvesters, after-school all-stars in Kelce's hometown of Cleveland, along with national charities including Feeding America, the ASPCA, Grammy in the Schools, and Parton's Imagination Library. But it was Parton's thank you video that turned into the moment everyone's still talking about. She recorded a message, thanked the couple by name, and then pivoted straight into something nobody expected. She said, "Now, it's evident that you two have made giving back a key part of your lives. So, hey, when you have your firstborn, can I have it? Because that is gonna be one special baby." It was a joke. Everyone understood it was a joke, but it was also the first time anyone with a real platform said your firstborn out loud to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Days after they announced their engagement plans were finally becoming a marriage. And just as speculation about their family plans was already swirling behind the scenes, Parton wasn't finished making it personal either. She added, "You know the mission of the Dollywood Foundation is to dream more, care more, learn more, and be more," before saying thank you again for your very generous gift, and we'll continue that mission even in bigger ways now with your money. Then she closed the video the way only Dolly Parton could, singing to the couple, "I will always love you." And the internet did what the internet does. Within hours, Dolly Wants the Baby was trending alongside wedding photos nobody had even confirmed yet. The joke landed because it tapped into something people had been wondering for months anyway. When, not if, Kelce and Swift would start a family. Parton just said the quiet part first on camera, 2 days before the vows. That's the story so far. A billion-dollar wedding, a legendary send-off from one of music's most beloved figures, and a baby question that got asked before the I do was even said. Now let's talk about how we got here, because the road to Madison Square Garden started years before anyone thought a wedding, let alone a baby, was even on the table. To understand why everyone is fixated on what comes next for this couple, you have to go back to how unlikely this whole thing looked at the start. The Eras Tour visited Kansas City at Arrowhead Stadium for 2 concerts in July 2023, and Kelce attended the second show with his teammate, Patrick Mahomes, then attempted to meet Swift backstage afterward, but was unable to because he hadn't reached out to her team in advance. He struck out, publicly, on a podcast no less. He told his brother Jason on their New Heights podcast, "I wanted to give Taylor Swift a friendship bracelet with my number on it. She didn't want to meet me, so I took it personal." It sounds like a throwaway line now, but that podcast episode became the origin story of one of the biggest celebrity relationships of the decade. Within weeks, Swift showed up in his suite. After plenty of hinting, Swift first appeared in the soon-to-be-famous Kelce family suite at Arrowhead Stadium on Sept. 24, 2023, the first of many appearances at Chiefs games. From there, it stopped being a rumor and started being a headline machine. Kelce didn't just wait around either. He made the trip to her. He returned the favor, heading to Argentina during Kansas City's bye week to support the singer at one of her Eras Tour shows, with Swift modifying a lyric in her performance of Karma to reflect their relationship. That's not subtle. That's a pop star changing her own lyrics in front of thousands of people to talk about the guy in the stands. By the time the following year rolled around, Kelce wasn't just showing up to 1 or 2 shows out of curiosity. After attending a wedding in California, he made the trek to her Dublin show, attended 2 of her Amsterdam concerts with Mahomes, caught 2 more sets in Gelsenkirchen, and wrapped up his side quest with the Eras Tour at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis in November 2024, before reporting to training camp. The relationship had gone from rumor to full-blown cross-continental commitment in under a year and a half. And it wasn't just a story for tabloids. It became a measurable business phenomenon. In September 2023, sportswear company Fanatics reported a nearly 400% spike in sales of Kelce jerseys following Swift's debut as an Arrowhead spectator. Her presence at games didn't just move headlines, it moved merchandise, ratings, and eventually an entire audience of new football fans who came for Swift and stayed for the Chiefs. Swift has been to at least 24 games, with Kansas City holding a 20-4 record in the games at which she has been spotted. Then came the proposal, and this is where the story starts circling back toward family, because of exactly how it happened. The couple became engaged on August 10, 2025, when Kelce proposed to Swift at his Lee's Summit home, after they finished shooting an episode of his sports podcast New Heights. The setup was elaborate, and it doubled as one of the biggest content moments of the year. Before the proposal, the couple recorded an episode of New Heights with Kelce's older brother Jason, during which Swift formally announced her 12th studio album. And the episode set the Guinness World Record for the most concurrent views for a podcast on YouTube, with over 1.3 million live viewers. While they were recording, Kelce had his backyard transformed into a secret garden, using the episode to distract Swift before inviting her outside for wine, then presenting her with a round old mine brilliant cut diamond bezel set in a yellow gold band with filigree engravings. The world found out almost instantly, because that's how this couple operates. Big, public, unmistakable. The engagement was reported by BBC News on August 26, 2025, and true to form, they had a little fun with the announcement wording too, with reports describing them joking, "Your English teacher and your gym teacher are getting married." Almost immediately after the ring went on, people who know the couple started talking about what comes after the wedding. And the word that kept coming up was kids, right on the heels of their engagement. Sources said the couple wants kids in their future together, adding they might not wait too long when it comes to raising a family. One source put it plainly, saying she's in a great space in her career and with her success, and she can take some time away. That's a meaningful detail because it tells you this wasn't just tabloid guessing. People close to the couple were already framing children as a near-term plan, not a someday plan, months before the wedding even happened. Kelce himself had talked about wanting something different from what he grew up with. He's spoken about building the forever kind of love with Swift and having a marriage that's different from that of his parents, Donna and Ed, who stayed married for the sake of their kids and only divorced when Travis was in college. For a guy who watched his own parents hold a marriage together out of obligation, building a family on his own terms with Swift clearly means something. It's part of why so many people close to the situation believe kids aren't a distant idea for this couple. They're the next chapter already being written. So by the time the wedding date actually arrived, the ground had already been laid. Engagement in August, a year of planning, a couple that friends said wanted to start a family soon. And then right on cue came the spending spree, the donations, and Dolly Parton asking for the baby before the ceremony even started. Which brings us to the week before the wedding, because that's when the money, the mystery, and the maternity speculation all collided at once. In the 7 days before the ceremony, Manhattan effectively became Fort Swift Kelce. This wasn't a wedding that crept up on people. It was one that had been rumored for over a month, with security tighter than most state visits. Reports that Swift and Kelce would wed at Madison Square Garden had picked up steam since Page 6 first reported it on June 5. But for weeks, the bride and groom had not confirmed this, nor had they denied it. That silence only fed the frenzy. The reasoning behind the venue choice made total sense once people thought it through. The rationales for the venue multiplied, from the relentlessly tight security infrastructure already in place, to the fact that being indoors in a space with underground parking and no windows was a good way to avoid photographers peeping from above with helicopters and drones. For a couple whose every move gets photographed from a rooftop 3 blocks away, a windowless arena with its own parking garage was basically the only option. Even the date carried meaning, at least according to Swift's well-known love of numbers. Swift loves to go all out for the 4th of July, which conveniently fell on a Saturday this year, making it a wedding weekend. She's previously said, "I love numerology, I love math stuff, I love dates," and in this case, 7 plus 3 equals 10, which fans quickly noted matched her longtime obsession with the number. It was also a convenient time for the groom, whose 14th NFL season doesn't kick off until September. Confirmation, when it finally came, arrived through law enforcement channels before it came through official statements. Officials confirmed the venue and date days before the couple's own team said a word. In the meantime, Swift was out in public in ways that only added fuel to the fire. She was spotted courtside with actor Mariska Hargitay and the Haim sisters, cheering on the New York Knicks during Game 4 of the NBA Finals against the San Antonio Spurs at Madison Square Garden in June 2026. Fans clocked something else too while at that same game. Swift wore a shirt reading Stevie Nicks, fueling speculation that Stevie Nicks herself might perform at the reception, alongside rumors involving country star Tim McGraw. Then, 2 days before the ceremony, came the announcement that reframed the entire week, not about the dress or the guest list, but about where the couple's money was going. The wedding confirmation came after months of speculation surrounding the couple's nuptials, and on the heels of the duo donating $26 million to 20 local and national charities across the U.S., with funds split across children's hospitals, food banks, and music programs, in places with personal ties to the pair, including New York, Kansas City, Nashville, and Rhode Island. That giving spree is what set up Dolly Parton's viral thank you video in the first place, and it's worth understanding just how deliberately personal the list of charities was. Recipients included City Harvest, the food bank for New York City, New York Cares, the Los Angeles Regional Food Bank, Harvesters in Kansas City, Brad Paisley and Kimberly Paisley's The Store in Nashville, Helping Harvest in Pennsylvania, the Rhode Island Community Food Bank, Feeding America, the ASPCA, Grammy in the Schools, and Parton's Imagination Library, along with Education Through Music, After School All-Stars in New York and Cleveland, Memorial Sloan Kettering Kids, Hassenfeld Children's Hospital at NYU Langone, and Children's Mercy Hospital in Kansas City. Notice how many of those are children's charities. Children's hospitals in 3 different cities, a book-gifting nonprofit built entirely around newborns and toddlers, an after-school program in Kelce's hometown. This wasn't a random spread of good causes. It read like a couple thinking hard about kids, months before any baby news, real or rumored, ever surfaced. Other organizations picked up on the emotional undertone immediately. The Nashville Food Pantry, founded by Brad Paisley and his wife, posted their thanks publicly, writing that they were incredibly grateful to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce for their transformative gift, adding, "Congratulations to Taylor and Travis on your upcoming wedding. Wishing you both a lifetime of happiness as you begin this next chapter together." This next chapter. That phrase kept showing up from charity after charity that week, almost like everyone sensed the same thing, that the wedding wasn't the end of the story, it was the beginning of a new one. The rehearsal dinner brought its own wave of headlines too. Guests reportedly received a gift nobody could stop talking about, a diamond-encrusted keepsake handed out the night before the ceremony, according to reporting from Page 6. Add that to reports that guests had signed non-disclosure agreements just to attend, and you get a sense of just how locked down this entire week really was. Even James Dolan, the owner of Madison Square Garden, got pulled into the rumor mill, telling a local radio station that reporters had gotten half of it wrong, and speculating that Swift and Kelce received free NBA Finals tickets in exchange for booking their wedding at the arena, before clarifying Travis is in a mandatory training camp. By the time Friday night actually arrived, there was nothing left to speculate about the venue, the date, or the guest list. The only thing left hanging in the air was what Dolly Parton had already said out loud. "When's the baby coming?" And almost as if the universe wanted to answer that question immediately, the night of the wedding brought its own twist nobody saw coming, courtesy of the White House. If you thought the wedding night would go by without a single complication, you'd be wrong. Because hours after the marquee lit up, the official account of the United States government decided to get involved. The White House wasted little time trolling the couple's wedding announcement after they made it official, with video boards outside Madison Square Garden lighting up Friday evening with "Just and Tay married," confirming the pair had officially tied the knot. Instead of letting the moment stand, the White House's official X account then posted a photoshopped version of the same image, replacing the message with "Trump is your president." It wasn't exactly shocking to anyone who's followed the political back and forth between the two camps. Donald Trump had previously proclaimed Swift was no longer hot and that he hated her, while Taylor had used J.D. Vance's childless cat lady label when endorsing their 2024 election opponent Kamala Harris. Old grudges, new stage, but the couple didn't let it derail the night. The wedding celebration stayed in full swing regardless. That's one perspective on the night, the political sideshow. But the far bigger story inside the arena was who actually showed up and what their presence tells you about where this couple is headed next. Start with the people who know Swift best. Swift's close-knit circle of friends and collaborators turned out for the wedding, with a guest list including Selena Gomez, Gigi Hadid, and Bradley Cooper. Then there's the friendship that goes back a decade. Dakota Johnson was cheering on Kelce and Swift's love story from the bride's side, having made friendship bracelets with Swift since 2016. Johnson had recently written about Swift for a major profile, describing her as someone whose realness she could vouch for, adding that she's also one of the most empathetic people she's known. On Kelce's side, the football world came out in a way that made it feel less like a wedding and more like a franchise reunion. Other members of the football fraternity who showed up included Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Sal Miller, Trey Watson, Mike Gesicki, Cameron Saunders, and Kalen Saunders. And front and center were the people who run the organization Kelce has spent his whole career with. The front rows were full of close family, as well as Kansas City Chiefs owner Clark Hunt, his wife Tavia Hunt, and their daughter Gracie Hunt. Then there were the guests whose presence surprised even longtime fans. Machine Gun Kelly stepped out in black slacks, a white button-up shirt, and a vest for the occasion. On the groom's side, thanks to his longtime friendship with Kelce, who grew up right down the street from him in Cleveland. Kelce had talked about that connection before, saying he'd just been a big fan of his through high school, through college, and that watching Kelly's success felt personal, given they came up in the same area. And there was one guest whose appearance instantly became its own headline, separate from anything to do with the wedding itself. Supermodel Carly Kloss, whose attendance closed the book on years of rumored tension with Swift. Even Hugh Grant made the guest list, and the story behind that friendship is its own kind of charming. He was just a guy standing in front of Swift, watching her sing at the Eras Tour in London when he befriended Kelce, later joking on social media about the excellent, if gigantic, boyfriend standing next to him. Here's the thing about a guest list like this. It's not just star power for star power's sake. It's a signal. When Emma Stone, Jennifer Lawrence, Zoe Kravitz, and Jason Sudeikis are all in the same room as Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and half of the Kansas City Chiefs roster, you're not just looking at a wedding. You're looking at two entire worlds, music and football merging permanently into one family tree. And family trees, as anyone who follows this couple closely will tell you, tend to grow. Sudeikis' own reason for being there says a lot about how deep Swift and Kelce's reach has gone. He's a well-known Kansas City Chiefs fan and a huge Swiftie, someone who shares 2 kids with ex-Olivia Wilde, and he's publicly thanked Swift for bringing her tour to the city he loves, calling her its adopted daughter. That detail matters more than it might seem. A guest list stacked with parents, Sudeikis with his 2 kids, Mahomes and his wife with their own growing family, Vrabel and his wife, put Swift and Kelce in a room surrounded by people. Already living the next stage of life, the couple is reportedly moving toward. It wasn't just a wedding audience. It was a preview of the community they're stepping into. By the time the reception wound down, the story of the night had split into 3 threads that were all trending at once. The wedding itself, the White House jab, and Dolly Parton's baby joke from 2 days earlier, resurfacing all over social media, now paired with wedding photos, as if they'd been part of the same news cycle all along. Fans didn't need much encouragement to connect the two. The internet had already decided the wedding and the baby countdown were the same story, which leaves one question left to answer. With the wedding behind them, what actually comes next for 2 of the most famous people on the planet? So here's where things stand. The wedding is done. The guest list has gone home. The $26 million in donations has already started reaching food banks, children's hospitals, and Dolly Parton's book program. And the question that's been following this couple since the morning after their engagement hasn't gone anywhere. When does the family start? What we know for certain is this. People close to the couple have been saying for almost a year that kids aren't a far-off idea for them. Sources said right on the heels of their engagement that the couple wants kids in their future together, and that they might not wait too long when it comes to raising a family, with one source describing Swift as being in a great space in her career, and with her success, to take time away when the moment comes. And Kelce's own words about wanting a different kind of marriage than the one his parents had only reinforced that this isn't a couple treating family as an afterthought. He's talked about building something meant to last, not something built out of obligation the way his parents' marriage was before their eventual divorce. That's the kind of thing people say when family planning is already part of the conversation, not a distant hypothetical. Then there's Dolly Parton's video, still one of the most shared clips from wedding week. It wasn't a leak. It wasn't a source. It was one of the most beloved entertainers alive looking into a camera 2 days before the ceremony and asking on the record for the couple's firstborn child. Now, it's evident that you two have made giving back a key part of your lives. So, hey, when you have your firstborn, can I have it? Because that is gonna be one special baby. That's not a rumor. That's Dolly Parton putting the idea of a Swift Kelce baby into the world, days before their wedding even happened. Timing that nobody in the comments section missed. Add to that the nature of the $26 million in donations. A pattern doesn't have to be an announcement to mean something. 3 children's hospitals, a literacy program for newborns, an after-school initiative in the groom's hometown. When a couple funnels a chunk of their giving specifically toward kids' causes in the same week they get married, people are going to read into it. And this time, it's hard to blame them. None of this means there's a nursery being built in Kansas City tomorrow. But it does mean the pieces are already on the table. A couple whose friends say they don't want to wait. A wedding built entirely around family, from Jason Kelce as best man to Austin Swift as man of honor. No traditional wedding party, just blood relatives standing closest to the altar. A guest list stacked with parents living the exact next chapter everyone suspects is coming. And a message from one of the most trusted voices in American entertainment, asking for the baby before the cake was even cut. The wedding used to be the biggest question mark in this relationship. As of Friday night, that question mark is gone, replaced by a marquee that told the whole city exactly where things stood. Now, the biggest question left is the one Dolly Parton already asked out loud. When does the firstborn arrive, and what happens the moment it does? For a couple who's turned every major milestone into a cultural event, the friendship bracelet story, the Eras Tour cameo, the backyard proposal that broke a Guinness World Record, and now a Madison Square Garden wedding that shut down blocks of Manhattan. There's no reason to think the next chapter will be handled quietly. If the pattern holds, whenever the baby news does come, it won't just be an announcement. It'll be another night the internet stops everything else to watch. Sources: NBC News. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce marry at Madison Square Garden. TMZ. White House trolls Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's wedding announcement. ESPN. Forever Always. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce tie the knot. At Madison Square Garden, ESPN. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's wedding. FAQ version. Wikipedia. Wedding of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Yahoo Entertainment. Taylor Swift-Travis Kelce wedding guest list tracker. E! News, how Dakota Johnson, MGK, and more wedding guests know Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Rolling Stone. Dolly Parton. Thanks Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce for $2 million donation. Reality T. Dolly Parton's cheeky response after Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's charity donation. Yahoo. Dolly Parton teases unexpected baby news for Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Extra TV. Dolly Parton jokingly asks for Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce as firstborn. The List. Dolly Parton thanks Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce for generous donation. And has a hilarious request. E! News. Dolly Parton cheekily asks Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce for firstborn News Nation. Dolly Parton reacts to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's $2 million charity gift. Bored Panda. Taylor Swift's recent appearance and behavior